Hey, Scorpio, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your October 2025 monthly reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what October has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, we have Body Talk. Body talk is the undercurrent that is flowing through your energy field at this time. This means your body is trying to get your attention, or some of you are very aware of working with and connecting with your body through movement, through breath work, self-love practices and exercises. You're taking a look at your mental health here, emotional health. And I feel like you are coming into alignment, coming into balance. Yes, and we have justice here. Bottom of the deck, we have the strength energy. So the strength is all about facing your fears. It is having compassion, showing compassion for yourself and others. It can even be through forgiveness. And I see here that you have been brave. You have had to face your fears head on. And I feel like you have overcome, Scorpio, a lot of difficulty in your own life. And this is about not doubting your beautiful self or your journey. I feel like you have been taking a look at how far you've come, and instead of perhaps judging or comparing, I feel like you've been doing a lot of releasing and shifting of perspectives, and that's a big key theme for you at this time. And by the way, happy birthday for those of you that are celebrating a birthday here in the near future. Now, your key themes for the month include family. So you may be spending a lot of time with those that you love. I feel like you're sharing your time and your care, focusing on activities and exercises and events that are close to your heart. And some of you could even have a new family member joining the bloodline. So some of you could become parents or grandparents in the coming months, especially October's energy. There could even be a marriage where families are joined together or blended in some way. But I feel like family is very important to you. Some of you also have been focusing on ancestral healing and maybe even tapping into your own ancestral wisdom. I'm also getting a message of a loved one. This could be a parent for some of you that is in the spirit world, is acknowledging a child. This is acknowledging here like a celebratory event, whether it's a graduation, it could be a child's first steps, it could be an adult child getting married. I feel like there's some sort of recognition over a child here. This is about stability. You are creating stability for yourself, but I feel like you're creating stability for those around you. And this is also inner peace, inner stability, inner security, because some of you may have been working on releasing control, releasing anger, or even releasing, the energies of isolation, loneliness, abandonment, and even rejection, because we have the Hermit here. So you are focusing on what brings you stability in your life. This could even be, within your health, which we'll take a look at here. This could be within your career and finances, which we'll also look at. And of course, your relationships with those around you. I feel like you may be trying to heal and solidify existing relationships, or perhaps you've had to release and you've had to let go of certain dynamics, certain traditions, or even certain people in your life because they didn't align in the best way, and it wasn't something that you could, agree to disagree or come together through some form of adversity. It feels like there was a broken bridge here that maybe cannot be repaired. This is about inheritance for some of you. There could be an inheritance, or there may have been a loss of a family member and it had impacted like family in some way, maybe sibling rivalry, or there may have even been like a legal battle of some sort. Some of you may have gone through a divorce or a marriage, because I am getting the justice scales here, and sometimes that can tear families apart and sometimes that can bring families together. Your belief system is on the line here, meaning you are taking a look at your morals. You're taking a look at the stories that have been weaving into your life since the very moment you were born and prior through your divine blueprint. Some of you may even be looking into your Akashic records. You may be tapping in to your, higher consciousness through meditation, through breath work, or any other form of modality that helps you connect to spirit. I feel like you are questioning. There's something here about answers, and I feel like you're receiving answers here, or you are receiving a deeper understanding, and that in itself I feel is part of the solution. Now, this is also about rewiring and reprogramming any outdated beliefs or habits or patterns that you may be ready to release and let go of, Scorpio, especially as we shift into Scorpio season. This is a very pivotal time for you, and you're connecting through higher power and spiritual acts of service here. And I feel like you are paying close attention to your self-talk. A lot of you are really showing up in a positive way where you are becoming your biggest cheerleader. You're talking to yourself with compassion and kindness. You're saying, Scorpio, we got this. You're talking to yourself, for some of you, in third party. And if you haven't tried that, you may want to try it out. I was just listening to a Huberman podcast the other day that talked about talking to oneself as a third party energy. So, for example, saying to yourself, calling yourself by your name, like, Mel, you are going to rock it today at this speech, right? Or, Mel, you are going to do so incredible when it comes to connecting and collaborating with this network of people. Like, start talking to yourself as third party, because that puts you in that coaching mindset where it feels like there's a bit of a buffer between judgments and comparison, and it allows you to feel like you have a bit of a mentor. So connecting to your higher self through maybe third party coaching could be beneficial. So test that out if you haven't already. Now, we also have perspective here. You're shifting your outlook here on life. Some of you are starting to see the glass half full, maybe versus half empty. You're starting to see the brighter side of things, and you're starting to release. I keep getting control. Now, if that resonates with you, great, but maybe you felt like you were under the control here of something that has been, weighing up on your head, weighing up on your heart. This could be emotional, because we have the strength here. Sometimes this can be, a controlling dynamic where our temptations control us, or our thoughts can consume us. And I feel like you are reining things in. You're starting to create balance and harmony, saying, okay, I am getting back control of my own life, instead of feeling like things are a bit out of control here. You may even be connecting with a professional. This could be professional guidance or advice. This could be a financial advisor. It could be a real estate broker. It could be a lawyer. Some of you may be connecting with a therapist, a coach, a mentor, a healer, or a medical professional in some way. I see that through some sort of support here, you are also helping others. So you could be the mentor, the coach, or the professional who is helping others out at this time. And I feel like you're seeing things more clearly. You are removing a little bit of the mask or the fog, or you're cutting through the uncertainty here by trusting your own intuitive awareness. Because there is an offer, an invitation, a new beginning that is opening up here for you. So body talk also is clarified here with detox at the bottom of the deck. So some of you are really focused on your health at this time. Some of you, genetics come into play here. Perhaps you are concerned because you have a family history of cancer or diabetes, or something has been, hereditary or genetic here, and you are trying to rein it in or get control of it before it gets out of control. This could be high cholesterol, it could be depression, whatever it may be. I see that you are aware, and that is the first step. Some of you may even be going on a cleanse. Perhaps you are detoxing, you could be fasting, or just focusing on eating healthier whole foods with less ingredients, less processed, processing in them. I feel like you could also be taking a look at resting, because the strength energy showing up here at the bottom of the deck can be issues with like overworking. You may feel exhausted at times, or just looking at your lifestyle and tweaking it a bit. If there are unhealthy habits, you are finding balance within at this time. Now, the strength energy can rule the core parts of the human body, such as the side of the torso, the spine, the back, the heart, the ribs. And I see that you are strengthening, some of you are strengthening your core, like your ab region here. And it could be energetically through the solar plexus, through more self-confidence, but it can also be that you are allowing more movement and flow to get to the spaces in the body where it needs to go through, right? The circulatory system, I feel, is being highlighted. Maybe even the lymphatic system could be highlighted here. So paying attention to movement and getting the body flowing is going to be important, because there may have been some blockages, some stuck energies, maybe even in the colon. It can also be like sluggishness here. Some of you may be going on a parasite cleanse, or you're drinking lemon water or ginger. I feel like you are aware of what your body is trying to tell you, or you will be. And some of you are feeling better vitality. You are feeling stronger. Your bones feel better. You're just feeling overall healthier once you start to take action here, and maybe even get the right nutrients, the right vitamins into your body. Now, because we have the Hermit, I also see the Devil and the Justice. We're just going to talk about health for a little bit longer here. So please, of course, seek out a medical professional if need be. But regarding the Hermit energy, this can also be intestinal issues. So some of you may have even had like an intestinal bug, or the lower stomach, the spleen, the gallbladder. Those could be dynamics that you've been working through. Gut health, okay? Gut health may be a big one here. I am seeing chlorophyll. Some of you may be looking into like chlorophyll, or I'm getting like a smelly energy. Maybe some of you have felt like there's been certain smells that have been very strong, certain odors that have been very strong. So of course, take that as it resonates. Now, some of you, this can even be like isolation, loneliness, and depression. And I feel like this is a month where you are reaching out, you're connecting, and you are talking to people, and you're asking for some sort of support if you need it. Now, the Devil energy, especially with Justice. Now, this is Libran's energy, which we're going to move into the month of October in Libra season. Libra governs our heart, right? Our lower back, kidneys, ovaries, adrenals, and even the inner ear. Some of you may have like sinusitis, or there's been some ear pressure, ear buildup. So that could be something that you are looking into. And then lastly here with the Devil, this can be teeth, this can be bones, it can be joints. Now, it can also suggest, like, I'm getting arthritic energy, or even like chronic conditions, or autoimmune. The Devil can be sneaky. It can rear up, at different times in our lives where it lies dormant, and then boom, out of the blue, it can be a cold sore, or it can be, that time of year where your body starts to respond to the cold, and it feels like it gets into your bones, right? So that Devil can be a bit sneaky, but I see that things are shifting here for you, as in, you're asking Spirit for answers. You're connecting to your body. You're becoming aware of what your body is letting you know. Now, I've named a few things today. It doesn't mean you have a whole mess going on in your body, but if something stands out to you, that is your intuitive awareness saying, yeah, that is something that I could pay attention to. Or maybe you're just needing to stay hydrated and move the body, get that lymphatic system moving. So let's move into your theme of the month. You have celebratory energy here. You have the Four of Wands, which is beautiful. Also another energy of family. It's the 1111. It's celebration. It's moving in together. It's a new home. It's, family and foundation and potentially marriage. So this is a really heightened energy here of let's celebrate, right? The Munchkins in Munchkin country, they're all smiling. They're all laughing. There's a beautiful castle behind them. So I feel like there's some really precious moments with your family, with the people that you love. And as I've mentioned, someone could be introduced into the family this month. And for those of you that may be seeking or wanting to connect, I feel like you are finding your tribe. There could be a person who enters your life or someone that you just started talking to that you could end up in a high level commitment with. Now, if for those of you that already are in a union, it feels like there's something really beautiful manifesting here for you. And we're going to talk about love a little bit later on, but this is the 1111 energy. So make a wish. For those of you sun sign Scorpios out there, what is it that you are wishing for? When you blow out those candles on your cake, whether you have a real cake or not, I want you to get into that energy of, wishes and dreams and magic and joy and celebratory energies, because that's what this is highlighting for you. Now, what are we focused on releasing? You have the 10 of Cups here. Now, the 10 of Cups as a release tells me that some of you thought this was never going to happen, or perhaps you have gone through a disconnect here with a family member. I mean, some of you, it feels like the dream hasn't manifested in the way that you had wanted, because the 10 of Cups is the ultimate blessing. It is, again, a focus on family and marriage and community and togetherness. And some of you, you may be celebrating here, exiting out of a soul contract because you've learned everything that you have needed to learn in that contract, whether this is a friend, a family member, a lover. And I feel like you are connecting to your own inner self. You had to make some choices that were connected to your divine blueprint, your path. And I see here that Spirit is saying, let go of let go of work that does not bring you joy. Let go of relationships that do not fulfill you. If this is something you have tried and you have worked on and you have put your love and your time and energy into, but it feels like you are still pouring from an empty cup and you've been wondering, how long do I have to put into this? I feel like it's time to pivot. And the 10 of Cups is reminding you that it's important to fill yourself with happiness first. Focus on the things that bring you joy. And I see that some of you may have even been people-pleasing, Scorpio, or you may have been taking care of other people's needs, but that's come at a cost in some way. But I see that you are entering into one of the most prosperous periods of your life, whether you realize it or not yet, because we have strength here. And sometimes when that strength shows up at the bottom of the deck, you feel like you are, going through a lot, undergoing a lot. And you're being guided to focus on your inner light. You do have the Hermit here. And when the Hermit shows up, you are being guided to take a little bit of time out and appreciate some peace and quiet, because some of you have a lot of responsibilities. Perhaps you have, family that you're taking care of, maybe elderly parents, maybe your own children. You may be a business owner, or you may work in the corporate world and you're trying to plan for a trip. You're trying to get your house clean. Some of you are getting ready to sell. Some of you are getting ready to move. I mean, there's a lot going on in your life. And I feel like Spirit is saying, prioritize and spend time with the people that support you. Focus on things that fulfill you. And yes, responsibilities are still going to be there, but I also feel like it's equally, if not more important here, to take a little bit of time out and to reconnect to your own inner sanctuary, to reconnect to that flame within yourself. Otherwise, you feel burnt out. Otherwise, you're going to feel exhausted. And again, it feels like the back, some of you may have even had back issues or heart issues in some way, or you just felt tired because you were constantly on the go. But I see here that this is a time where you get to take some you time, and there's nothing selfish about that. If anything, it is vital. It is vital to your energy field. Now, what's the hidden influence? You have justice. Actually, you have the devil. I feel like the devil is the influence here because you are working on releasing things that are outside of your control or things that have controlled you, which we spoke of earlier. When the devil shows up, this is liberating yourself. And that's what many of you are trying to do, is liberate from some of the heaviness that you have endured. And it is shaping your path in some way because you may be tempted to fall back into old patterns, old habits. This can include people pleasing. It can include, not just people pleasing, but tempting yourself to ease into like a quick fix or a quick solution. Sometimes that devil can be addictions. The devil can be obsessions, manipulation, codependencies. It can be, things that we bond ourselves to or feel bonded to us in some way, where it's a bit of a head game. It's a bit of a mental trap. It's based on conditional energy versus unconditional. And I see here that you don't want to be trapped. You don't want to feel like this has a hold over you. And you are working on and have been working on releasing. And for a lot of you, this is going to be something regarding health, or it'll be something regarding your stories, the stories that have weaved into your life. And remember, fear is a liar. The old stories here do not have to keep playing out the same pattern over and over in your life. And that's what the devil, why he comes up here as some of the hidden influence. Now, the support showing up for you is actually justice. And as we move into October, fully in Libra season, it feels like you are aware of the laws of karma, the laws of cause and effect. What goes around comes around. You are trying to act fairly. And for a lot of you, you are bringing and restoring harmony and balance and justice into your life. Now, this could be accountability, taking accountability for actions. It can be some form of retribution, perhaps some sort of settlement that is coming through here for you, or a legality here where you're finding or creating balance within yourself. And I see that there is justice. There will be justice in some way. And sometimes we try to control that piece of justice, but we cannot. And I see that you are being guided to trust in the wisdom of your body. You're being asked to trust in your divine path and allow things to start to rebalance out in your life, but also actioning it up by taking accountability, doing what you need to do to create that balanced lifestyle. That's, again, good for your body, good for your mind, and good for your spirit. So what is the outcome? What is the outcome here? What is the lesson? What is October ultimately teaching you? You have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful energy here. The Ace of Cups is a gift, right? And we see that the body talk and the detox are actually clearing the way for something quite beautiful. Four of Wands to come into your world. And the fours are about stability. They're about structure and foundation. And I feel like that's something that's very important to you, especially when it comes to family and belief system. Some of you have struggled with a family member because your belief system clashed, because you weren't on the same page. And instead of seeing things through the lens of, unconditional love, perhaps some of you were, or someone, I should say here, it just feels like they weren't able to get past the ego piece of it. And that's something we see often. The ego gets in the way and it causes differences. It causes us to react out of haste. And I see that you have a new beginning that is opening up for you. The Ace of Cups is a new love connection. It is a soul quenching renewal. It could be a love for your work. It could be a new family member. It could be a lover. It could be that you are moving into a phase, an era of your life that is feeling more emotionally fulfilled. You are attracting energies that feel more compatible with the version of you that you are wanting to become, that you are putting out into the energy field. You are someone who's curious and you're staying positive and you're staying hopeful, Scorpio, for what's to come. And this next trip around the sun for you is going to be a very powerful one, a very harmonized one, but you are tuning into your own inner wisdom here with that Hermit. This is about you. Oh, some of you, you're breaking out of external expectations or external validation. That's why the 10 of Cups is here, because this can be like family or even societal expectations of what they think is best for you or where they think you should be at in your life. And you're saying, wait a second, why have I let everybody else control? Maybe that's that control piece, control or dictate the path or direction of my life. And why haven't I taken the bull by the horns here? And that's what you're starting to do. You're saying, wait a second, I am listening to my own inner wisdom, and I am going to take a little bit of time out for myself so I can think clearly, so I can choose the right thing without feeling impressionated. Is that a word? Impressionated. And instead of letting the impressions of other people kind of cloud your judgment here, or cloud your happiness in some way. So let's look here at career, finances, money, and abundance. You have the Planner. Now that is 4 energy as well. The 4 of Wands can be planning for something really beautiful to take place here. Some of you are taking financial inventory. You're taking a look at what needs shifting, what needs changing. With that Ace of Cups coming in here, you may be shuffling around finances, maybe even refinancing. Maybe you're looking at interest rates. You could be taking a look at your 5-year plan, your retirement. You could look at, when you can buy a home, or maybe when a move is possible. You may even be an event planner, a project manager, or even a professional organizer. Now, many of you are getting organized this month. You may be doing some decluttering, some fall cleaning, or spring cleaning, depending on your location. But it's crucial that you make a plan. Make sure each day counts. And some of you could be budgeting here and really taking a look at where your money is going and how much money is coming in. And you may be saving up for something important. Some of you are saving for that dream trip, dream home. It could be a wedding or saving for your future. You have Mechanic. Mend what needs mending. It might be broken, but not all is lost. Consider a career as a mechanic, automotive, or in automotive or aerospace, or even a repair technician. You can easily fix your finances, but there may be a bit of a sacrifice needed. So again, cutting back. Now, mechanic also tells me that some of you may have had a bill regarding your vehicle. Or maybe this is an oil change. It could be a repair on a washer, a dryer, a dishwasher, a heater, plumbing, something of that nature. And I see that you may be budgeting and taking a look at, okay, how long can I pay this off? Or maybe you're getting new furniture and it's interest free for 6 months. You may be taking a look and asking yourself, what can I do to pay this off sooner? Or, it just feels like you are planning things out. You're strategizing. And I feel like you are being put in a better position by being aware of your financial state. And I love this energy of unlocking. What was locked can now be opened. That's the Ace of Cups. You have opened the floodgates of abundance without limitations. Yeah, because some of you have felt blocked. Some of you in the past have felt like, I want to make money doing what I love, but it feels like that there's a block in that area. Something is being unlocked with that Ace of Cups, and it has to do with you going inward. It has to do with you taking some time out, maybe a social media break, maybe disconnecting from people, or it could be, taking a look at those patterns that have played out in the mind. Something here is unlocking, and you're going to see it flow out into your outer world. All right, so a new offer coming in. Some of you, this is going to be a new job offer. Some of you are seeing people, seeing your work situation from a higher perspective here. There's justice, there's balance coming in. You may have been dealing with the devil in some capacity, but I see here that you are opening yourself up to a new beginning because you weren't necessarily loving where you were at work, or the situation that was coming through. It didn't feel as stable, but there's a big celebration, a big win coming through here for you. And it does align with the belief system that you have strengthened, that you have solidified, that has helped you get to where you are at right here, right now in your life. Now let's look at love. Let's look at partnerships. You have here Sword and Rose. Clarity and truth are coming out here. The devil, it feels like the cat is out of the bag. I'm actually seeing a black cat. Some of you could have a black cat. And I'm seeing someone wearing a shirt that says Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath. I mean, maybe you're listening to Black Sabbath here. I'm not really familiar with any of the songs, so I'm not sure. I'm just seeing the shirt. But like black energy, you could even be using like jet, the crystal jet, or obsidian or tourmaline, maybe using some good grounding crystals at this time, protective crystals as well. But I see that you are working on releasing that devil from your life, whatever that is for you. And there's revelations coming in. This is honor. This is protection. This is determination. So when it comes to relationships, I feel like you have done a lot of healing, right? A lot of healing around family dynamics or traditions here. And you've looked at belief systems that you are born into. You're looking at conditioning here that has surrounded you, but many of you are like the black, there's the black again, the black sheep. So you could be the black sheep that you've went your own path here, and maybe you have been walking this path for quite some time, but now you are coming to a point in your life where you are attracting your soul tribe, your chosen tribe here. Now you have the sunglasses here, which is all about perspective, and someone could be keeping their eye out on you or like watching you in some way. Some of you may even have, I don't want to say a stalker, but I mean, it does say stalking, but it could be someone who is like keeping tabs on you because maybe they don't have anything better to do, or because they're waiting for like a sign where they can swoop in because they may know your vulnerabilities, or they may know, you intimately in some way, and it feels like they want to swoop in, but your boundaries are strong. I hope that makes sense. And lastly, we have Girl with a Snake. Now, Girl with a Snake is about being charmed or being used, but the fact that she's looking through it and that the eye is highlighted tells me that you're seeing through something, and your boundaries are strengthened, and you will no longer be the enabler. You will no longer let someone walk all over you or use you as a doormat here. You're not going to be charmed or allured into a situation. Now that you know better, you can do better. And for those of you that may be, attracting or looking for love, I mean, there is some sort of truth coming in. There's clarity coming in. And I feel like, if this is a new relationship, you're going to honor it. You're going to protect it. And I see that there's determination here to strengthen your own energy and strengthen the relationship of both of you by being honest and conversing and talking and getting to know each other on a deeper level. And that may include someone's fears, someone's shadows coming to the surface. But I feel if these two energies are compatible, if they're meant to be, you can both bring in harmony and justice and work with that double energy, whatever that may be here for you or both of you. All right. And lastly, we have the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. And this is about sexuality here. So some of you, intimacy, maybe there's been issues around intimacy here or vulnerability. And it says, I honor and respect my sexuality, and I allow the natural flow of my feelings. I acknowledge that my sexual thoughts and feelings will arise, and I release unnecessary guilt regarding sex. I am open to the positive sensual feelings coming to me from others. At the same time, I keep my sexual activities well directed and in balance. Now, this is more than just the act of sex, right? This is about your creative powers. This is your Kundalini activation. This is about you bringing joy and pleasure into every area of your life and using that sensual part of you to reactivate, to wake up to life's beauty, to life's pleasures. So a lot of you are tapping into your own Kundalini energy here. And lastly, we have your archetype is the box. I almost said the boss. Isn't that a show, The Boss? Now I'm going to look in the guidebook here in one moment. All right, Scorpio, the box is the cage, the rules, the norm. We all live to some degree within the confines of the box. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is sneaky, insidious, and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious levels. It is built of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressure. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort, and bravery. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well-paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others, or simply to stay small. There is a box around you now, made of some type of confining thought. What is it? The box shifts and morphs as we grow. This is part of its multi-layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to you. Keep going. Break through. An exquisite life requires it. That blends beautifully into your reading. You know, that's the devil. That's the devil where we peel back these layers. And the strength here, the courage and the bravery to keep doing so. We talked about the social confines, perhaps parents or a job that feels heartless. So whatever this is for you, keep going, keep breaking through, Scorpio. Moving outside of the box is exhilarating and expansive, but destabilizing. Others will wonder what you are doing and why. You will too. This is part of the process. Everything within the box is known. Everything outside the box is unknown. That is why it is more comfortable to stay within its walls. Choose freedom. When this is showing up as the light aspect, which I do see that you are moving more into the light because we have perspective here. This is about structure, order, coherence, and logic. When it's showing up as the dark, which that's the devil energy, this can be limitations, rigidity, judgment, fear, and even control. So if you want to go deeper in this energy, Scorpio, check out Richard Serra's 1 Ton Prop. All right, the House of Cards, 1 Ton Prop. So Scorpio, freedom. That is the name of the game for you at this time. So that is what I have for your October 2025. Thank you so much for tuning in, Scorpio. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter or even entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.